Hi everyone, welcome to this intuitive tarot session. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very happy to be on camera. I'm working hand in hand with the new moon in Taurus, and I was asking myself, how can I get more vulnerable? How can I let the light in? Because I believe that this particular new moon is like the ultimate seed. So I'm thinking a lot about the idea of planting seeds and how we want to let the light in and we want to get vulnerable to water the seed in order for them to grow. So, yeah, it's like super vulnerable for me to be on camera, but also it's fun, it's exciting, and I want change. I've been on YouTube for 3 years now, and I want to do things differently. So I'm trying new things. If you like this, make sure to let me know. And let's dive right into this session. So, this new moon, and I felt called to bring a collective message from this new moon for this new moon. And it came through because I was asking myself so many questions about my work and what I want next. And I had no goals in mind. I had nothing specific that I wanted to call in. And I kept getting, again, the word allowing, like allow whatever wants to come through for you. And I was journaling, meditating on, why am I here on YouTube? Why am I doing this work? Why does it matter? And I've been thinking about, how knowledge and all the knowledge that we accumulate in life through videos that we watch, books that we read, just all the information that's coming in constantly, and how those are little seeds. And slowly with time, they transform into wisdom. And I felt this warmth around my heart space, and it was such a lovely moment. And I wanted to share it with you guys, how I share the knowledge, I share the information, the little seeds that I'm planting every time I'm doing a reading, and you guys are listening and receiving my energy. But the wisdom that comes out of it can take years and years and years. And we cannot really share wisdom. We cannot put words really onto what wisdom is. It's a feeling. And again, I felt it around my heart space, like this big wave of warmth. And it was like, I'm here to share the knowledge and plant the seed. And it's not mine after how this knowledge transformed into wisdom. And it fits so beautifully with this new moon in Taurus and how we're planting seeds and we don't know if they're going to grow. We cannot control nature. It's not because you plant a seed that it will actually grow. You have to trust it. You have to take care of it. So again, I'm honoring the invitation that I felt I received from my guides, and I'm showing up here on camera for you guys. And okay, let's start picking cards. I want to know, what is the general energy of this new moon? I know in my heart it looks like an Ace of Pentacles, but I want to know. What do we have here? The Page of Cups. Yeah, makes perfect sense. So the Page of Cups is kind of the purest, truest essence of who we are, because it's the inner little one. It's the inner child. For me, actually, this card always felt like an inner child, because it invites us to look at who we were. And again, this truest essence of us. And with the Taurus new moons are, of course, new beginnings, and the Taurus energy is very much connected to our values and our foundation and what made this foundation, what made us who we are today, what affected us, what impacted us as individuals, like how we were raised, how society raised us, how internet also raised a lot of us in a way. But when we have the opportunity like that with a new moon to tap into our purest essence, we can rediscover parts of ourselves that were always there, but we kind of lost touch. So with the Page of Cups, there's this initiation. There's like the entry point of new feelings. They feel new, but actually they were always there. So old dreams that maybe were just something you were born with. You don't know why, but you always were the type of kid who dreams of certain things, who wanted certain things. And maybe someone told you, well, no, that's not possible. There are so many things that I wanted to do as a kiddo. And I heard people say, like, you're not going to make money and it's not possible. And you have to make sure to find something that will pay the bills. And, I was always an artist. I was always invited to share and to use my voice and to show up. And actually being on camera is such an honoring of my inner child, because I remember the first camera I got for Christmas. I was very fortunate to have a video camera as a kiddo, but I would film myself and create these movies. And I remember, hearing people say, yeah, this is just like a hobby. This is not something you can do really for a living. So I disconnected from that dream, and being on YouTube now, and even if I don't show my face usually, it's just such an honoring of my inner child that had so much to say and wanted to be on camera and wanted to be seen in certain ways. So this is just an example, of course, but what are those little fragments, those fragments of your truest essence that maybe you lost along the way? We're coming back home to those parts, and we are, for some of them, honoring them, and for others, we're going to be using them as seeds, and they're going to be working, like, again, we're letting the light in, like moments of clarity. So Page of Cups it fits so beautifully with the general energy of this new moon in Taurus. The moon is like an echo. It's like the ocean, and Taurus is this earthy, super grounded energy. So they work so beautifully together. And it's okay if you don't know exactly what you want. I think it's cool with the Page of Cups that there's this allowing, this fun, sweet energy. It's an energy of play. Don't take yourself too seriously. You don't need a goal. You don't need a specific wish. Just allow whatever wants to find you. Allow yourself to be surprised a little bit. Okay. Is there an important message from the moon that we need to hear right now? Oh, and the Empress is here. So, we have kind of the moon, water energy, and the earth energy, Taurus energy, with the Empress. And now I can't stop smiling because it's just so perfect. So, the Empress is all about receiving. She is not forcing anything to happen. She clearly planted the seed a very long time ago, and she doesn't look stressed. She looked like she's, and I say she, but Empress is an energy that belongs to everyone, regardless of your gender or how you identify. The Empress wants you to receive. She's number 3. So 1 is the seed, 2 is the first sprout of the seed, and 3 is the clear expansion. We can see something materializing in our life. We can feel it. We can smell it. We can touch it. It's about all the senses. It's about finally, how I'm receiving this message is like finally loving what we do. Yeah, there's something about the word love that wants to come through, and not necessarily how we usually perceive this word, especially on YouTube and with tarot readings. And a lot of you guys know how I feel about, the obsession of love readings here on YouTube. Love, like how it actually feels to love what you do and where you are right now in the present moment, to radically love and accept your life as is, with all its imperfection, with all its challenges. This is why the Empress is so loved. Like, everyone loves the Empress card. Like, I would say 99.9% of folks loves this card because she looks so comfortable. There's no doubt here. There's just the acceptance of what is, and this honoring of the beauty all around you. But there's also always on the Empress cards, like the stream of water here. We're still getting vulnerable. We're still moving with the waves of the ocean and the cycles of the moon. We're not unshakable when we are in that space of Empress energy. It's just that the way we receive energy, the way we experience things is just so different. So it's lovely how those two cards show how knowledge transforms into wisdom. And when we understand something, really, we don't have to prove anything. We're not looking to prove our point. We're not looking to get the external validation. We're just able to be present with what is here, which this new moon is definitely the entry point of a new reality, a new way of sensing, of experiencing life. And it sounds big. Like, I'm hearing myself and I'm like, wow, this sounds so big, but it really is. It is. It is a fantastic energy, a gift. Okay. Tell me more about this new moon. Tell me more about what we need to know in this moment. I keep getting, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. So the Empress looks comfortable, but actually, again, with that stream of water in the back, she's always dipping her toe into her vulnerable sides, and she's honoring the cycles of nature. Yeah, this new moon is a lot about that. It reminds us that we're constantly connected to nature, that, again, the seeds that we plant are not necessarily gonna grow. And we cannot fight against nature. We cannot fight against the seasons and the cycles of the moon. Everything is cyclical. Everything comes in a wave. So how are you riding that wave? How are you receiving and relating to what is happening? And we have the Queen of Cups, of course. The Queen of Cups is the deepest ocean. She's double water energy, first of all. So it's like the deepest dive you can take in the most vulnerable parts of ourselves. The things that we don't want to share, the things that we're afraid of, our biggest fear, and how sometimes we have to take a deep dive. We have to face certain fears, and it might feel like the most uncomfortable thing. It might feel so scary to just even think about those, about taking action about certain things. Again, that it's scary because we have no control over. We don't know what the reaction is going to be. We don't know if it's right for us, but we are intuitively called to take a deep dive. So yeah, getting uncomfortable, I think, is going to be necessary for everyone. It could be through a conversation. It could be just getting out of your comfort zone, doing things differently. because we want things to change, because we've all been waiting and excited kind of for a new beginning. I feel like everyone I talk to is like, yeah, I feel the shift is about to happen. I feel like the energy is changing, but it's not happening yet. It's not happening yet. And I think that we are sometimes a little bit too obsessed or focused on the outcome of something. Like, what is my goal? What is the outcome? Where am I going to be? How is this going to unfold? But we're not allowing the universe to surprise us. We want to control, we want to know, because it's less scary that way if we know everything. You know, one of the reasons why people are so obsessed with the tarot and with the idea that tarot is predictive, but tarot reflects what is present right now. It helps us align ourselves for a best future, to set ourselves up for the best aligned future. That's what the tarot does. So when we are obsessed over prediction, it's because we are looking for a little bit of control. We are so scared to get uncomfortable, but I don't think there's a way around getting uncomfortable with this new moon. And I would say, unfortunately, but no, it's a gift. It really is a gift. And I'm seeing like this big gift wrapped up with like this lovely bow, and it's like there's the uncomfortable energy of receiving a gift, and maybe when you unwrap it you don't really know how to react, and there's just so much coming up, but it's here. This new moon is a gift. Tell me more about the new moon. What are the messages we need to hear right now? Don't underestimate the soul aspect of this journey. So I feel like there's a lot of people who are calling in specific things, again, who are obsessed with the outcome, who are needing one specific thing in their life. And that is connected to believing that we're not good enough, believing that if we have this thing, our life is going to be so much easier and so much better, but it's not the truth. That's why we have to work with the foundations of Taurus, with the value system. Like, why do I want those things? Why do I believe that I need a partner, or I need a car, or I need my body to be different? And investigating, asking ourselves why. And we have the 10 of Cups, a card that is so much about the present moment. And I say that a lot when I pick this card. You've heard me say that before for sure, but the rainbow. When there's a rainbow in the sky, we stop. Nature is the teacher when it comes to being in the present moment, and rainbows are part of that. So here, first of all, I want to say, can you be present with what you feel, even if it's uncomfortable? We hear that a lot, like sit with the feelings, but why would we do that, to like sit with what is uncomfortable? And I think that it's all part of investigating. And again, to let go of control, to let go of the grip that we have over controlling. We want to control how we feel. No. There are certain feelings that they cannot be contained anymore. This is it. And it's not just the water, it's also the fire, it's all the element. There is so much that cannot be contained anymore. And there could be the light, there could be this creativity, this fire, this passion that it needs to come out. For others, it's going to be expressing certain feelings, saying certain things, communicating certain things. What cannot be contained anymore? And that could feel very emotional, like there's this energy moving through our bodies and we just want to do something. We want to create this new beginning. We want to make it happen. But we are invited to feel. in the present moment, feeling what is coming up in our bodies. Where am I feeling certain things in my bodies? And again, what cannot be contained anymore? What is this energy that just wants to be expressed? And honoring that. And honoring it in a way that is not, it's not to please other people. It's not to give necessarily people what they want. It's to honor this, again, this true essence. We have so much to share. And as I said earlier, the knowledge that we share will eventually transform into wisdom. So don't underestimate the power of your words. Don't underestimate whatever you feel like you need to express and that you need to let out. It matters. You matter. And what you have to say definitely matter. And maybe your ego, your nervous system is going to fight this change, is going to fight this new beginning, because why? Why do I deserve this? Why would people care? Why would I try this? But don't forget that the little things matter. Those little seeds have the potential to grow, and maybe they won't, but maybe they will. And those little nuggets of knowledge will eventually become wisdom. And we're not supposed to know necessarily how we impact others. And maybe sometimes we impact a person and they don't even know that it comes from the conversation they had with us. But we have to remember who the F we are and how powerful we are and how magical we are. And I think that this new moon is shining a light on that, on our values, our value and our values, but our value as intuitive, as, anything that we are really. I feel like we tend to forget, especially that we have so much access to everything that's happening around the world. There could be this sense of, why am I even trying? And I get it. But we matter as individual. We really do. And I think it's important to investigate, to ask questions, and to have these conversations. Even if for some people it sounds so stupid just to read cards on YouTube, and it's okay. But through conversation, through connecting with the images, we are remembering our own magic, how magical we are, and how important we are individually. And to not give our power away. Because it's so easy to just say, I don't know anything, and I'm, relating to this teacher, or I'm obsessed with that celebrity, or this and that. We give our power away constantly, but we are magical. We are full of, again, energy that cannot be contained anymore. And this new moon is gonna shine a light on that. And we have the Chariot here. So new beginnings obviously comes with a lot of clearing. And the Chariot is about what we have outgrown. A chariot that is made out of concrete, it cannot bring us anywhere. For some people, it's limiting beliefs about ourselves. For others, it's going to be a relationship, a job, a city, whatever. You have outgrown something. And you've been releasing it. You've been doing the work. I feel like this is an important message that's coming through for some of you guys. We're looking for practical ways. Like, how do I do this? How do I do a ritual? How do I learn to receive? How do I learn to be this and that? And how do I evolve spiritually? You are doing it. You're already in it. You're already out of this chariot that you've outgrown. You already started the process of releasing what no longer serves you, whatever you have outgrown. But as I always say, this card is like the snake shedding its skin, and you cannot rip off the skin. You have to let it fall. It might take a while. Again, always go back to nature when you feel stuck between an ending and a new beginning, between releasing the past and welcoming the new. Always go back to nature, to the butterfly coming out of a cocoon and its wings being wet. You cannot just fly away. You're going to have to adjust. Again, seeds that we plant and how we have to take care of our garden and how unexpected nature is. We have to remember that we're connected to all of those things, that we're not machines. And it can easily feel like we are because we're so connected to our cell phone and we're connected with each other and we see everything. Again, we're receiving so much knowledge and so much information that there's this pressure, like, what am I going to do with it? You have to let it sit and do its work. Again, we have to let go of the grip of control. We cannot control those things. We are cyclical beings. We are one with nature. And I know some people find it very woo-woo when they hear that. But we are one with nature. We're just like nature. And yet, we would never be angry at a flower because it doesn't bloom fast enough, but we are pressuring ourselves to heal faster, to evolve, to do certain things, to have goals and to accomplish things. And we forget that we are here to be in our vessels, in this meat suit, in this human body. We compare ourselves so much to other people that we forget what we actually need. And we create this, all those false needs, like I need this, I need this, I need this. You already have enough. You are more than enough. And whatever new beginning is happening for you with this new moon, it's just going to add to your magic. It's going to add to what you already have, which is enough. And we have the Seven of Swords, the myth of not enoughness. The Seven of Swords is when we are looking to the past and we're like, oh, I wish I've done things differently. This person is holding so many swords and still they're looking back like, oh, I could have picked up two more swords. No, you have enough. You have enough on your plate. You are enough as a person. And in the Seven of Swords, I love to think that the Eight of Swords comes after. There's like this radical shift around our mind. How do we relate to our thoughts? And how do we relate to what we consume and what we see online and what we see with other people? And again, going back to the Page of Cups, this truest essence, who we were before we started comparing, before we started needing so many things, so many more things, and how we were looking to experience instead of having. It was not about the possession of things or having things. It was about experiencing joy and having fun and life being sweet, noticing the little moments of sweetness. And I think that, again, yes, this new moon is bringing so much newness, but the big change here is how we're going to receive all of it. Yeah, 10 of Cups, Empress, and Queen of Cups. How we will experience those things. How we will receive it and allow our life to surprise us. And allowing our mind to change. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to change. You don't necessarily want the same things that you wanted last year or that, personally, the things I wanted last week, I don't even think I want them now. So it's interesting how, again, this moon to me is so much about water and earth working together, but there's a lot about the swords and our perception, how we perceive certain things. I want a message from my guides. Yeah, of course. The Emperor is here. So the Emperor is connected to a new beginning. And also it's connected to the container. Fours in the tarot are the containers. It's like, what cannot be contained anymore? What cannot be contained anymore? What have you been keeping yourself from experiencing because of fear, because you're afraid to take up more space in the world? Aries is the baby of the zodiac. It's the symbol of a baby being born. I say it all the time, but I really want people to remember that Aries, the Emperor, is, yeah, it's a card of wisdom. You know, there's the white beard, a symbol of wisdom, but there's also this energy of the first sign of the zodiac, which is a baby screaming, I am here. I take up space. Why are we so afraid to take up space? To say, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is because we're trying to fit in a mold, or because, again, we have old beliefs about what life should be, how we're supposed to look, what success means, what success looks like. You want change. The Hangman is here also. A huge change, a shift in perspective happening with the Hangman, which can be very uncomfortable. But we grow from that uncomfortable space. We grow from that soft, vulnerable place, just like trees. And I love the Hangman because, you know, I've been practicing yoga for so many years, and every time my head is upside down when I do yoga, I think about the Hangman. I think about this one time a yoga teacher said, yeah, yoga is really having a different perspective. You're putting your head upside down and you have a different perspective on everything. And this is what yoga does for me. And again, I connected a lot with, you know, putting your body sometimes in an uncomfortable position, or just being uncomfortable in general, and people around you not really understanding, okay, like, I don't really understand what you're doing, you're saying, because I'm not feeling it. I'm not in your body. And it's okay. This is a rebel. The Hangman is not putting himself in that situation to look good or to make other feel better, to be a people pleaser. No, it is honoring the call of the moment. And the ray of light around his head is, we're letting the light in. We're letting new ideas in the new beginning find us. And the knowledge is transforming into wisdom. And it's going to feel that way. It's going to feel that way. Okay, is there any closing words? Look at that. The King and the Queen of Wands. So this is, of course, you know, I always love kings and queens of the same element to be some type of a power couple, but it's not in a soulmate type of way here. I really feel like this is about still nurturing our fire with the Queen, nurturing our passions, nurturing the seeds that we're planting, but also not having to wait to try different things. You know, the queens understand the value of their element. They can relate to it emotionally, and the kings, they use it. The kings master the use of their element. And here we're talking about fire. We're talking about passion and creativity and just our will. You know, this this magic that we all have inside of this fire in our belly when we think about the things that we love, or when we see certain things that move us, and how we can be inspired by that. And here again, it feels like, yeah, there's so much more knowledge that we need to gain. There's so much that we need to try and take care of and just learn more. But we can still take action. We can still try. And it's not because you're not there yet that you're not valuable enough to share your wisdom and to take action and to, again, try certain things. I really feel like there is something emotionally blocking a lot of us. Is it the fear of being seen? Is it the fear of failure? I think it's going to be different for everyone individually, but there's the dissolving of fear that's happening with this new moon in Taurus. For a moment here, we're going to have this sense of a fire in our belly. And I think we're going to be called more than ever to try something different, just to try something new, something different. And I'd love to know what it is for you. I'd love for you to share in the comments, what is this new thing that you want to try, and how you relate to the cards that I picked today for your new moon week, your, again, new beginning. We're all getting a new beginning. It's going to look and feel different for each and every one of us, as long as we are, allowing it and not forcing it. So I'm sending love. Thank you for listening. I hope that this reading finds you well, and I can't wait to share with you in the future. If you want to see me on camera again, let me know. And yeah, take care. Happy new moon, guys. Bye.